You know, I truly believe that there are four experiences, four worlds, four realms of life. There's the external world, there's the internal world, there's the physical world, and then there's the spiritual world. And understanding that really changes everything. When you realize that there's a lot more than what you can touch or feel or or whatever, everything changes, you see. So let's start with the external world, right? The external world is what drives most of us. The external world are all the things that are outside of us: the news, current events, what people do, all the things outside of our realm of control. That's the external world. The internal world is everything within ourselves, things that we actually do control, things that we actually, are happening for us, how the meaning we give things, what we focus on, the things we do, the decisions we make, all of that, the story we tell ourselves of what the other things mean in the external world as well, that is all part of the internal world. Then there's the physical world. The physical world is basically all things that you can touch, you can smell, you can taste, like all the senses, right? So all of those things are physical, and there's one realm of experience. But as we know, and science is uncovering with the metaphysical studies, there's also the spiritual world, the world we don't see. And a really excellent metaphor that I've heard is that it's compared to the ocean. You look, in your penthouse in Miami on the 50th floor, and you see the entire ocean there beautifully, right? And you're like, nothing's going on. It looks so simple. Maybe some guy in a boat and whatever, right? Nothing's happening. But if you dive into that ocean, and if you actually have the right vision, and you're able to breathe there, and you're able to see what's going on, there's an entire universe that, unless you dived in and you were part of it, or someone else did it for you, and they can say, hey, this is what happened, it doesn't exist for you, but it's there. So I believe we have these four worlds of experience, right? External, internal, physical, spiritual. And understanding that makes all the difference. When you realize that some things are outside of one world and they're actually part of another world, and you can't mix up the worlds. So let me give you an example. Perfect example. External world, current events, things are happening here. Oh my gosh, it's terrible. This, that. So now what are you going to do about that? What are you going to focus on? Now, if you're going to spend all your time focusing on every problem in the universe, maybe you'll be able to influence it. Maybe you won't, but you're going to get drained. And it's going to, really bog you down. Because where focus goes, energy flows. And if you're focusing on all the things that are wrong in the world, you're going to feel that. So the external world are all the things you don't control. So maybe don't spend your time there. Don't spend your time focusing on all the things that you don't control. Okay? Now, you can try to influence them. You can try to do whatever you can, but don't get too emotionally bogged down by the things you don't control. If you believe in God, if you believe that He knows what He's doing, He's running the show, there's a reason for what's going on, you do the best you can, but focus on another world. The other world is the internal world. Things happening within you. That means, how do you take in this external world? What definitions do you give this external world? What meanings do you give life experiences? Everything you go through. Is God life punishing me? Is God life helping me grow? Am I a victim of life? Is it meant for me? Is it happening for me? You see, it's a very big difference if you believe life is happening for you and not to you. escaping that victimhood. So you have that internal world, you have that external world. Now you have the physical world, all the things you feel, right? All the things you touch, all the things that are visible to you with your bare naked eyes, right? That's one world. But then there's an invisible world. All the emotions. You know, people say disease, disease, disease. They talk about all the problems. And hypochondria triggers disease. Okay, that's what I believe. That's what science. Go study, go do the research. I don't have it in front of me, but go check it out. Look at how much hypochondria actually scientifically has been shown to influence how we feel, to influence our health, and to actually manifest disease in our bodies. Now, what is disease really? Dis-ease. Dis-ease. A lack of ease. All disease, I believe, starts with our thoughts, with our subconscious thoughts. When we have anger towards someone, we don't want to forgive someone, right? That anger brews. It becomes like an acid. You know, some people even, have issues, they have to run to the bathroom, whatever, if they start getting really emotionally upset about something, because your body internally is connected to your external experiences. And therefore, you need to be mindful of that. So what I'm here to tell you with this quick shift on moment or moments is that you gotta be mindful of all these worlds, and you have to understand that you have a responsibility to yourself to live beautifully every single day and every single way. Okay, that is first, before you can be empathetic, before you can be loving to others, before you can go and give. You gotta be empathetic to yourself. You gotta love yourself. You gotta give to yourself. You gotta fulfill yourself, your physical needs, your spiritual needs, your emotional needs. You gotta be full. And when you're overflowing, that's when you can give. But when you're empty, you have nothing to give. So that's what I'm saying here. So you got to be mindful of these different worlds. If something is part of the external world, don't bring it into the internal world. It doesn't belong there. It is none of your business to solve the problems of the world. Yes, you can impact. Yes, you can influence. Yes, you can create organizations and do kindness. And yes, that's so essential. Go do good, but not anything else. Don't get bogged down listening to the latest news, getting worked up, taking sides, fighting, arguing politically, this, that. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of your happiness. It's a waste of your energy. Don't do that. Okay? So that external world does not belong internally. Keep it out. Okay? Now, then the other part, the physical world is important, but so is the spiritual world. You see, everything runs, I believe, with our soul. What happens when a person passes away? Same exact person, same exact body, doesn't do anything. Now, does that mean life ended? No, it transitioned. The soul came into the body, and then the soul left. And therefore, it just continues. So my point is, be very mindful of your spiritual needs. What do you need to spiritually be content? And I'm not pushing religion on you. I'm not telling you to go start doing this or doing that. But maybe take small steps and start growing. Start learning about spirituality. Start learning about what it means, right? If you're Jewish and you have a Torah and you have these things that for thousands of years people have given their lives to do, maybe go study it. Maybe light Shabbat candles. Maybe go start keeping Shabbat, make Kiddush. Maybe like small steps here and there. Pesach is coming over. Passover. There's so many things. And my point is, take that spiritual world and make it part of your physical world. Because everything in our minds, all our thoughts, all the emotions we have become physical things. And the spiritual realm is a universe that we have to be mindful of. So unlike the external and internal way, I said keep the external out of your internal. Here it's a different situation. With the spiritual, you got to bring that into the physical, because that's the way God created the world. You cannot exist without a soul. You cannot exist without that spiritual energy and life force. So you got to feed it, right? What happens if you don't eat? Forever. You drop dead, right? What happens if you don't have, oxygen? You don't have all the physical needs you have. You can't survive. But the spiritual is the same. Okay, you know, some people die, but they get buried 50, 60, 100 years later. Why? Because life is about growth. Life is about spirituality. Life is about giving. And isn't that really, truly spiritual? Because, you know, if you look, what is really the whole point of why God put us here? It's a big question. But one of the main things is so that we can give, so that we can love, so that we can be an expression of godliness here. Because otherwise, what's the point? To just go and pay the lousy bills, to go and complain, and to go and fight, and then game over whenever we pass on? No, we're here for a reason, not just a season, and for many reasons, and therefore to look into that spirituality of yourself. Okay, quick shift that moment. It's 10, 11 minutes. Listen, guys, very important. I'm doing Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. I'm doing a live masterclass free as my gift to you for my birthday. My birthday was about a month ago, but a lot of people have so much outpouring of love and good wishes, so I'm going to do that. Look out for it, and always remember to shift on with Shift On. Sending you love from New York. God bless you.